Thanks a lot for staying with us. We're getting some updates from Madhya Pradesh now on the Trisha Sharma death case. Giribala Singh, the mother-in-law, and Samarth, the accused husband, have now been given 5 days in CBI custody. They were presented in court earlier today after their medical was done. This after the CBI took over the probe, argued for Giribala's anticipatory bail to be cancelled and arrested her, took her into custody yesterday. They have been presented in court where the CBI sought further custody of both of these co-accused, and now they've been granted 5-day custody to interrogate both of them. Remember, there is a lens now on the role that the in-laws have played, not just in what happened in the final hours of her life, of Trisha's life, but also whether there is assault involved before the hanging, and that hanging was a suicide alone, or were there other circumstances involved. In any case, there can be a case to abetment to suicide being made against the accused because of alleged torture, mental and other harassment that Trisha Sharma was going through. There is also the added accusation now that CBI is looking into, that Giribala Singh, because of her stature and because of her being a former judge, used her contacts to influence the initial hours of the probe, not just making phone calls to influential individuals, but also there is an allegation coming to light that her sister was part of the first post-mortem that was done. Arunima is now joining us. Arunima, tell us more of the arguments that the CBI has made while asking for this custody.
The CBI has in its custodial remand application said that 5 days are needed because they have to ask Giribala Singh about what really happened in the final hours before Trisha was found dead, and also match what she says with what Samarth has said in his testimony so far. Samarth's custody was given to the police first, 5 days custody, 7 days custody, I beg your pardon, which ended today as well. And CBI had its custody for the last 2 days, but it has not got enough time to cross-verify. Also, it has gone ahead and done a 3D mapping of the crime scene. So the evidence that is picked up from the crime scene has to be matched, and Giribala will have to be confronted with that new evidence. The CCTV footage where Samarth can be seen with Trisha's body, the claim by the mother and son is that it was an attempt to give CPR. The question that the family has asked is that why were you giving CPR and not calling for an ambulance? Also in that video, Giribala is seen walking in and out of the room, barely glancing towards the landing of the stairs where Trisha's body is. She appears not too bothered, but was that the actual condition? What really happened in that final moment? CBI has to ask Giribala.
So, Arunima, one important question also is that what were the whereabouts of both the husband and the mother-in-law when Trisha was at the terrace where a makeshift gym had been constructed? So, was anybody else with her at that time?
Also, the important question that CBI will have to ask is that, the version of events by the defense is that all three of them, all three residents of that house were sitting in TV. Before that, Trisha had gone to the beauty parlor and Samarth had escorted her and also brought her back. So everything seems normal, or at least that's what defense's argument is. Then what really happened in the final 40 minutes? Did nobody, neither Giribala nor Samarth, see Trisha go up to the stairs with the ligature, with the gymnastic belt? Also, why was Samarth screaming at Trisha as reported by her mother when Trisha and her mother were speaking on the phone? Reportedly, Samarth was said, was being argumentative, or there was some kind of an argument going on. Was Giribala aware about the argument? Does she have any explanation about the antemortem injuries on Trisha's body? Was there any kind of conflict between the husband and the wife? Was Giribala aware of that? These are all specific answers that CBI is seeking.
Yes, this case, of course, has become mired in a lot of controversies because of the fact that both families, one, have been speaking to the media, but also because certain things have seemingly gone wrong as far as the initial steps of the probe is concerned. For example, as you've been reporting, the scene of the crime or the house has been under the co-accused possession since this death first came to light. But what is also important to note here is what the second post-mortem would say. The CBI has that report with them, Arunima?
Not yet. We haven't received a confirmation whether that second post-mortem report has been shared or not, because there were some specific scientific tests that the forensic team wanted to carry out. You have to keep in mind that the second post-mortem was carried out almost a fortnight after Trisha was found dead. So it must have been a difficult test to carry out. Also, we are told by the forensic team here in AIIMS that they wanted to carry out some specific scientific tests on the remains before reaching a conclusion. We were also told that the forensic team of Bhopal once again failed to produce the gymnastic belt when the second postmortem was going on. So
Okay.
there were lapses in the second PM too on the part of the police, and I think all of that will be accounted for when the final report is given to the CBI. We're waiting to hear from the CBI if that report is in.
Just stay with me, Arunima. Let's just listen into some quick reactions because there have been developments since yesterday where Giribala was taken into custody for the first time. And of course, the son has been in custody, now taken over by the CBI. But listen to some reactions coming in.
ये एक बहुत बड़ा एग्जाम्पल सेट हुआ। आज लोगों को एक विश्वास बढ़ गया है कि कानून से ऊपर कोई नहीं है। ये एक बहुत बड़ा अच्छा पॉजिटिव मैसेज गया है सोसाइटी के अंदर। मुझे पूर्ण भरोसा है कि न्याय प्रक्रिया हमारी माननीय जो हमारी सबसे सर्वोच्च संस्था है सीबीआई, वो पूरा सच्चाई बाहर निकाल के लाएगी। सीबीआई एक हमारी गणमान्य संस्था है जिसने बहुत सारे केसेस ऐसे ब्रेक किए हैं, अनसुलझे सवालों का जो है जवाब लेकर के आई है, और इस बार भी मुझे उम्मीद है कि सारी की सारी सच्चाई वो बाहर निकाल के लाएगी।
माननीय उच्च न्यायालय ने कुछ बिंदुओं को बड़े ही गंभीरता से लिया है, जैसे कि मृतिका त्विषा शर्मा के शरीर में 7 एंटीमॉर्टम इंजरीज पाई गई हैं। ये गंभीर अपराध की ओर संकेत करती है। त्विषा शर्मा को मानसिक रूप से प्रताड़ित किया गया, दहेज की मांग की गई है, और ये जो त्विषा शर्मा है उनकी अननेचुरल डेथ हुई है। सीबीआई ने इन्वेस्टिगेशन को टेक ओवर किया है। अब सीबीआई के ऊपर है, अगर उनको ऐसा लगता है कि गिरिबाला सिंह की कस्टोडियल इंटरोगेशन करना है तो वो निश्चित रूप से उनको हिरासत में।
Arunima continues to be with us. Arunima, the important question now is that these so-called injuries that have been found on Twisha's body, now the police earlier explained them as not indicative of foul play. What more do we know about these injuries, and why is it that the police did not feel that they were suspicious to begin with?
See, Commissioner of Bhopal, in a exclusive conversation with CNN News 18, had tried to say that, these injuries were quote-unquote simple in nature and not life-threatening. So these injuries were not the kind which could lead to death of somebody. But the question that Bhopal police could not answer is that were they at least indicative of any kind of scuffle or any kind of attempt to injure Twisha or cause any harm to her? Because the family's allegation is precisely this, that if there are injury marks on her body, it doesn't look normal, and then her body is found. So what are these injury marks? Why did she commit suicide? Did she commit suicide because she felt humiliated after having been beaten up or physically abused? Or did someone try to, kill her? The father of Twisha Sharma argued, he said this was a case of partial hanging, where she was beaten up. When she became unconscious, she was hung.
Okay.
Both these theories, police commissioner did not find any merit in. CBI, however, has mentioned this, and the High Court also, in its rejection order of anticipatory bail, has said that these antemortem injuries require more investigation. Another reason why CBI wants to question Giribala in custody. And before I hand it over, very quickly, CBI also is probing the issue of influencing the probe.
Yes.
The allegation is that Giribala's sister allegedly was in the postmortem room or near the autopsy room when the first postmortem was being carried out. Then there is the question of 46 calls being made, as the call detail records of Giribala shows, to sitting IPS officers in DG rank position, sitting IAS officers in additional secretary rank positions. Why was she calling all these people? Is there merit in the allegation that she tried to influence probe? That's the other key answer CBI is seeking.